You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, man, Heat fans, what is up? Welcome to another edition of your Locked On Heat Postcast. Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease. It must be in the water, the land, something tonight. Oh, man, the Miami Heat. One of the worst collapses in franchise history tonight on the road. I'm here to tell you all about it. I don't want to, but I have to. It's your Locked On Heat Postcast. Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Grease _ on social media here after every Heat game, of course. And tonight, you probably don't want to hear what I have to say as your Miami Heat go to Orlando, the same Magic team that's down 3 starters, the same Magic team that lost a 4th starter early in this game. Yes, Miami didn't have Jimmy Butler, but Miami, in any carnation, with or without any of its players, should not be outscored 37-8. Yes, I said it, 37-8. They scored 8 points. 8 points in the 4th quarter. They had a 3-minute stretch almost to start the quarter without scoring a point. 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Then they went 6 minutes, 15 seconds of that same 4th quarter without a point. Meanwhile, Cole Anthony, the same Cole Anthony who averages 5.1 points per game, guess how many he had tonight? Guess how many, Heat fans? Yeah, he had 35, career high. So you got dumped on by Cole Anthony. No Franz Wagner, no Banchero, nobody for Orlando. And this was the result. It was a back-to-back game for Miami. They just ran out of gas. They were completely drained. No energy in that 4th quarter. This is your Locked On Heat Postcast. Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease, and it is not a good night to be a Heat fan. But the good news is this one's done, and you play again on Monday. You lost to OKC last night at home, one of the best teams in the league, best record in the West, as a matter of fact. Magic just played them too. All right, let's get it going here and do it right. Your Locked On Heat Postcast on your Saturday night. And by the way, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all y'all out there, and got the holiday season coming up. We'll have the Dolphins tomorrow. They've been giving a lot of people a lot of things for Christmas, just not their own fans, everybody else's fans. But hey, it's a small technicality. But your Locked On Heat Postcast for this evening is brought to you by FanDuel, and you know how much I love FanDuel. You started the season with a big return on FanDuel. You want to keep it going. New customers can place a $5 bet. You're going to get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And while I'm on the topic of getting started, how about getting started with your Locked On Heat newsletter? Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Locked On Heat daily newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. All right, Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease. Busy night in the association after just a couple of games last night. And by the way, apologize for that one last night. Real bad computer issues and technical difficulties and things like that. So I am back up and running. We had to get a couple of parts, and we're good to go. All right, so here we go. And by the way, smash that subscribe button. Ring the bell so you know when we're going to hit you with more content. You know what I mean? And then engage in the chat. You want to comment. You want to come in here. And we already had one coming on in tonight. What's up, George? Heat following Miami Dolphins losing trend. Yeah, you know it, Georgie. Absolutely can't say anything to that one. And of course, we have your star of the game. We have your turning point. We have your final score graphic. We're going to go through the box score. We're going to go through the team stats. And I mean, really, what more can you say when your team gets smoked like that? Your team gets smoked in the 4th quarter, and it was 37-8. You didn't score for 255. You were up 25 in the game. You were up 22 heading into the 4th, and you end up with one of the most colossal. I mean, look, it's one of the biggest comebacks in Orlando history. They tied their biggest comeback in Orlando history. And how about this? Cole Anthony. Who is Cole Anthony? Who is he? He's from North Carolina, 6'2", 185. He's 24 years old. He's a point guard. Who is Cole Anthony? I know I'm not answering your questions. He scored 5.1 points per game, gets 2 rebounds, 2 assists per game. He shoots 38% from the floor. Well, Cole Anthony destroyed your Miami Heat tonight like Carmelo Anthony used to. 35 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, almost had a triple-double. And if you want to know how bad this is for Cole Anthony, I'm gonna read you his recent games, and then we might even do all of his games because there's nothing Miami Heat related that you want to talk about tonight. I can promise you that. As they had 3 guys score over 20, Rozier, Tyler, and Bam, but nobody did anything. Tyler scoreless in the fourth quarter. You want to be an all-star? Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Score in the fourth quarter. Hey, now, you're a rock star. Get the show on. Score in the fourth quarter of an NBA game. That's all I'm going to say. That was pretty good. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go score in the fourth quarter. But Cole Anthony does not do this. He does not score in the fourth quarter. No, he had 28 minutes tonight against Miami. He scored 35 points in 28 minutes. He had 29 points against Phoenix on Sunday, December 8th. He scored 14 points, okay? And then you're going all the way back. Where are we at? What was it? 16 points against Charlotte, a terrible team. And he had a 16-point game versus Washington, another terrible team. So it is great against terrible teams. And apparently the Miami Heat now fall into that category. And 35, that's a higher total than any 2 of his previous high-scoring games. Let me repeat that. Cole Anthony's 35 points were 5 points higher than the total of his 2 previous high-scoring games. Bro, where's the defense on this guy? Where is the defense? I know you're playing with dead legs on the fourth quarter. I don't care. You're making $90 gazillion a year. Look, when I was a kid, we used to see NBA players in the airports. My dad and my grandfather used to travel all the time. NBA players were traveling commercial. The finals were on tape delay. Go talk to Larry and Magic about how you're tired on back-to-backs. Go talk to Michael about how you're tired on back-to-backs. The guys who put this league on their shoulders and built it to where it is now. LeBron, Dwayne Wade. Go talk to those guys, all right? I don't want to hear NBA players whining about back-to-backs anymore. I don't want to hear them whining about playing 82 games of basketball. Do you know what I would give to play 82 games of basketball for $90 million a year or $50 million a year? I don't want to hear NBA players talk about you're in your 20s. You have the best medical care. You have massages on the plane. You have physical therapy. You have ice. You have cryo. You have everything known to man. You're almost bionic. You know what I mean? The best medical care, the best food, nutritionists, the most room on flights. Those guys used to take, can you imagine Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the day getting on a commercial flight? The dude would have, are you kidding me? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stretching out those legs. These guys are so pampered now they don't even know any better. And look, I don't want to hold that against them, but you're allowing Cole Anthony to score 35 points, which is 5 points higher than the total of his previous 2 high-scoring games. I got a problem with you. I got a problem with the lack of effort. I got a problem with the dead legs. I got a problem. Miami Heat players should not have dead legs. It's called conditioning. The Heat have been the best conditioned team in the league or right there at the top for years. So what is going on? Are we that lazy now as a league where everybody's just chuck, 1,000 threes, and when they don't go in, you lose? Is it that simple? Has the game become that dreadfully boring that all we're going to do is see chuck, and if they don't go in, your team's going to literally have an 8-point fourth quarter? I like Miami's style of play because they do so much more than that in this league of chuck and duck, thanks to Steph and Clay and the Warriors, right? And now people are talking, Colin Coward's going to eliminate the corner 3. Shut up, man. Who are you, Naismith's great-grandson? Just watch the games and talk about the players. My point is, the Miami Heat, dead legs, not an excuse. No Jimmy Butler. He was sick tonight. He left the game against OKC last night. The injury, the illness. You guys know it's been a tough year for Jimmy, the trade rumors, whatnot. Had a 35-point triple-double in the loss in the game on Monday night when they lost for the second time to Detroit in the same season. First time since 2019 they have done that. Audience continues to surge. Thank you so much. Right here, your Locked On Heat postcast. Remember, we are exclusive right after the games. You don't want to be anywhere else but Locked On Heat postcast, Locked On Dolphins postcast as well. Canes on the 28th in the IDGAF Bowl, and you saw the playoffs today and last night with Notre Dame winning. And, oh, man, just Lord help us. But, the Dolphins probably out of the playoffs now, too. The Heat might be our only hope on the sports landscape this year, and it is looking really, really lean. Thank God for the Panthers in the Stanley Cup, but it was just not a good night for Miami in Orlando. Let me repeat, your Miami Heat were outscored 37-8 in the fourth quarter. They scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. 8 points. 8 points. That's 4 points less than 1 point per minute in the fourth quarter. They went a 6-minute run without a point. The first 3 minutes of the quarter, they did not score a point. And Lord, oh Lord, man, I mean, I don't know what else I can even say about things right now with this team tonight. That's just, you chalk it up, you move on. Obviously, they play again Monday, and it's a back-to-back. I don't want to hear about the back-to-backs. I do not want to hear about the back-to-backs. You're 13-13. You've lost 3 in a row. Huge fourth quarter lead, 22 points to start the fourth. You blow it. Jimmy Butler out, and Orlando had 3 starters out. They crushed Miami on opening night. Banchero and Wagner, that front court. And Wagner's brother went out tonight too. He's better than Giannis's brother, but he went out tonight too with an injury. And they still lose to this team that literally, I can't, there's literally nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say right now that would make this feel better. You move on, you get on the plane, you head home. It's a short flight. They'll be home soon. They'll probably be home in a few minutes now. And Lord knows they need to be, because that's a bad loss. You've had some bad home losses this year and last year. Try to get to 30 home wins. It's tough. You've had bad losses overall. The Detroit loss on Monday in overtime was gut-wrenching, and another terrible loss for Miami. Too many points in time and stretches of games where you're just not scoring anything. And I really don't understand how this Miami Heat team can be so bad sometimes on offense. I don't see, and I understand, look, that the shots aren't falling. Yeah, that happens in the NBA. It happens in the NBA when the shots aren't falling, right? But you have to have other ways of doing things. You have to have other ways of doing things when the shots aren't falling. Usually for the Heat, it's Jimmy Butler getting to the line. Without Jimmy, they weren't able to do that tonight. Without Jimmy, they weren't able to. And we'll go through the numbers coming up here in just a moment. Obviously, we're going to need to. What a bad night for Miami and Orlando. And we're still waiting on the, come on now. Where are you at? There you are. Come on, baby. Get in there for me. Just one time. Just work one time for me, StreamYard. That's all I'm asking. Did we do it? Oh, baby, we did. How about that? How about that? Where Mel Allen would have been proud of me on that one. How about that? So where are we at? All right, we're running a little long on time in segment number 1. As we were searching through and trying to load things, sometimes these things happen with the reads on the network, and things don't like to upload and be where you want them to be. So my bad. I get to that right now as we continue with your Locked On Heat postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease, and I get a chance right now to talk to you about my friends at Prize Picks. That's right. Prize Picks is absolutely dope, and you guys know this, right? I talk about Prize Picks all the time here on the show, and you guys love Prize Picks. Great deals for you at Prize Picks to get you started at the best place to get real money, sports action. That's right. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or you pick less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. And I mean, look, I'm an experienced creator. I understand my audience. I know what you guys are all about. And man, oh man, the Miami Heat had some potential tonight on Prize Picks. You could have had guys going over 20, multiple guys going over 20. They did. They had 3 players scoring over 20 points tonight. So you can absolutely hit those night in and night out on Prize Picks. You can also make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. Win 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Look, you offer MasterCard now with Prize Picks. Quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. You get paid quick. Things are right there for you when you need them. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quickly as 15 minutes. Give me my money, man. 15 minutes, give me my money. I'm saying join now, because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas with Prize Picks. So what you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do? You're gonna download the app today is what you're gonna do, and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup at Prize Picks. Run your game on the Locked On Podcast Network. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum. Where'd it go? Here we go. There we go. I want to be hiding on me. Get a chance to tell you about Rocket RX. Today's episode is brought to you by Rocket RX. If you're ready to boost your confidence and take control in the bedroom, Rocket RX has a solution. Imagine feeling more prepared and performing at your best. Rocket RX makes it simple and stress-free, and that is a real thing with the stress, right, guys? Rocket RX offers FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower cost than branded alternatives. That's right, no more uncomfortable doctor visits or pharmacy trips. Everything is delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging. With Rocket RX, you'll get trusted care from a real U.S. clinical team. Complete a quick 100% online consultation, and you could get your first prescription today with Rocket RX. And here you go, just for you with the Locked On Podcast Network. Visit rocketrx.com to get started now. It only takes 2 minutes. That's what she said. Right now, our listeners can get 40% off your first order when you use code LOCKEDONNBA. That's rocketrx.com. Code LOCKEDONNBA for 40% off your first order. Terms and conditions apply. Rocket RX. Better sex made simple. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease. It's Miami Heat. We scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, a tough one tonight, Miami. And look, I'm being funny. You're doing 82 shows. You're going to have some fun, right? First of all, I mean, look, we're going to love it right here, and that should have been down. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. Okay, so StreamYard and I have a love-hate thing going on, but I love you, StreamYard. I'm just kidding, StreamYard. I love you. Who's that? Eminem, right? Slim Shady. Anyway, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when we're coming live again. Engage in the chat. We have fun in here. We got some regulars. You everydayers know this. Come on in. Chat about the game. 37-8 in the fourth quarter is what it came down to. Miami's in cruise control. You're killing this thing. The whole bench is being emptied. And then, bam, here comes Orlando. But not bam, as in here comes Bam Adebayo. You know what I'm saying? No, not tonight for your Miami Heat. All right, Jim GRIESHABER, call me Grease. We're looking through all this right now, taking you through what happened tonight with this game, and really hope you're enjoying the postcasts here on the Locked On Podcast Network. We have them for every team. We have shows for the cities. We have podcasts for every team. Locked On Heat guys do a great job. So do the Locked On Dolphins and Locked On Canes guys. We are the post game, though, so make sure after the games you come here, Locked On Sports Miami, or wherever you get your podcast. Nowhere else, right here. Locked On Postcasts for the Miami market. Postcasts after the games, podcast day in and day out, every day. As you get that, right? One more time or no? You got it. I have faith in you. Postcast after the games. So how about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 24 points. Bitadze with 18 points, 13 rebounds. Who? Goga Bitadze. How about that? November 8th, 1989. You know what happened that night? Neither do I. 25-point comeback by the Orlando Magic. That's the last time they did it. They did it tonight, 37-8 in the fourth quarter. And I know 37 minus 8 doesn't equal 25. I get that. But it was a 25-point lead for the Heat in the third quarter, and that was the deficit. So Bam Adebayo, 23, Terry Rozier, 23, Tyler Hero, 22 for Miami. Nothing in the fourth for Tyler. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Score in the fourth quarter. We want Tyler to be an all-star, and everyone's going to be an all-star with the new format anyway, so who in the heck even knows? Chuck and duck threes and whatever. But Jimmy Butler out with an illness. He's been banged up this year. Cold in the fourth quarter. That's their offense when threes aren't falling. It's Jimmy getting to the line. So without Jimmy to do that, that is what ended up happening there. The Magic really looking at the bench tonight. I mean, they had so many guys out in this game, but Miami made 8 of their first 17 threes, looking real good to start, and then they missed 14 of their next 15. Streaky shooting is killing Miami. Brooklyn comes in on Monday. How's that day? So, of course, Jimmy's out. And the Magic, man, I mean, look, let's just take a look here at the Magic's injury list. And I'm on my phone doing it. I apologize, but my computer's been acting up so badly lately. I'm amazed I can even get a show on right now. But when you look at Orlando's injuries and their depth chart right now, Moritz Wagner went out tonight, the center. Franz brother, he went out with a knee injury against the Heat tonight. Jalen Suggs did not play. He's the guy who's been carrying the load for the Magic with Wagner and Paolo Banchero out. Well, guess what? Banchero and Wagner still out with the torn obliques on the right side, or the strains, or I think they're tears. Each one of their prized big men has a torn right oblique. and they're actually both out indefinitely. Paolo Banchero, and Franz Wagner. And then you have Gary Harris is out. I mean, it is absolutely comical when you look at what happened in this game, considering the Orlando Magic's injury list right now. And I mean, it is what it is. So I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. You know what I mean? The Magic already did that all night long. Oh, I did it again. Oops. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so here we go. The box score for Miami, it's not pretty in the fourth quarter. They scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. Tyler didn't score in the fourth. Bam might have had 1 or 2. Their shooting numbers overall were not bad, regular shooting wise, 48%. Threes, they were 28. They were just 9 of 32 from 3. But when you think about what I just told you about a minute and a half ago, that they were 8 for their first 17, and then you end up 9 for 32. That's a bad night. It's a bad night at the office, to say the least. Duncan Robinson, 27 minutes, 10 points on 3 of 7, 2 of 6 from 3. 4 points for Jovic, who played tonight, but didn't give him much offensively. He only took 3 shots, went 0 for 3 from the floor. In fact, he got to the line 4 times. Thankful for that he was able to drop in a couple from the stripe. Bam Adebayo, 23 points on 8 of 15 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. He only had 6 rebounds, no assists for Bam. See, without Jimmy, that high-low and Bam coming up top, and Jimmy will flash and get the ball on the elbow. Like, that whole thing just goes for naught without Jimmy Butler in the lineup, and Bam is relegated to doing things he was doing in the past without that cutting-edge offense. Hey, that's something you might want to think about if you're trading Jimmy Butler. And how about Tyler Hero? 7 for 17, 3 of 9 from 3, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And how about Smith getting the start tonight? 14 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3 for Drew Smith. Highsmith, no points off the bench in 6 minutes. Ware, 8 points. Where was he? On 4 of 4 shooting. How about 4 of 4 shooting and 7 rebounds in 14 minutes tonight? How about those numbers? That's pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Kel'el Ware. 7-footer, just 20 years old, man. 7 rebounds and 4 for 4 shooting in 14 minutes. You might want to think about the future there with playing Bam off the post a little bit more with this new passing version of Bam. And how about Terry Rozier? Good game for him tonight. Remember, he was averaging almost 24 a game, over 24 a game in Charlotte when the Heat traded for him. 23 points on 8 of 15, 2 of 7 from 3, 5 points apiece for Jaquez Jr. and Pelle Larsson, who played tonight. Johnson is a DNP coach's decision. Jimmy Butler and Kevin Love were not with the team tonight. Kevin Love was listed as a personal thing. And how about the Magic? You got 24 from KCP, 18 from Batadze, go with 13 rebounds, 10 from Black in the backcourt. And then you had Cole Anthony, 13 of 25, 2 of 8 from 3, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 35 points for a guy who averages 5 points a game. And there, my friends, is your ball game. What a joke. What a joke. I mean, this guy scores 5 a game. His season high was 16. His other season high was 14. Add those 2 together, that's 30. His 2 biggest games of the year were 5 points fewer combined than his game tonight. That is maddening. That is awful. That is terrible. Someone's getting reamed on the plane, and someone should. You've had a lot of ways they've lost games this year. Spo calling a timeout they don't have at Detroit, costing them a win there. I mean, uncharacteristically Miami Heat. You've had a lot of things happening this year that are uncharacteristic to this organization, and what it's resulted in is a 13-13 record still at 500. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Locked On Heat postcast. This one's been all over the place tonight, guys. I apologize. Having computer issues, but I think it's looking okay on your end. It's just having trouble loading on mine. I'm going to wrap it up in just a minute. We got your team stats, but we've got a bunch of things coming your way. We have got your turning point. We've got your final score graphic. We've got your team stats. And here we go. We have got your second commercial break. Let's see. There we go. All right. And we are hitting right now. Dun-dun-dun. You know how much I love FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, hey, it's your tomorrow. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. Busy day tomorrow. Didn't even realize there were games today. That's because we're doing Locked On Dolphins postcast. Anyway, you get a hunch in the middle of a game. You can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And one more time for your mind, your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Not this one, your second favorite podcast. Introducing the Locked On Heat Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. All right, we got the business out of the way, and we are grateful for that. Our incredible sponsors just really, really bringing it for us. You everydayers know this. Incredible deals that we have for you from some of the best companies out there that enhance being a sports fan. And without a doubt, FanDuel is one of those. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ on social media, GRIES, wrapping it up on your Saturday on the job. I think it was almost Christmas time, and the Heat blow a huge lead tonight. 25 points, they're up in the third quarter. 22 points, they're up to start the fourth. No Jimmy Butler, but Tyler and Bam and Rozier were all in the 20s. Jaquez was playing well. And man, oh man, they could not stop Cole Anthony. They couldn't get a bucket. They went 6 minutes plus without scoring in the fourth quarter, on top of not scoring in the first 2 minutes, 55 seconds, for all intents and purposes, 3 minutes to start the quarter. So count them. That's almost 9 minutes. 8.5 minutes of that fourth quarter, they went without a bucket. They scored 8 points in that quarter. Tyler, goose egg. Nothing in the fourth. Everyone's calling him an all-star. Hey, now, you're not. Score in the fourth quarter, man. And just like he did against Detroit the other night, Jack. These deep threes are just brick, building new houses in Orlando. So I'm not saying this to pick on Tyler. I'm saying that he disappeared tonight in the fourth. I'm saying that in the overtime the other night at Detroit, he brick, three after three. They got to do something, either get more bench minutes, keep guys fresh. It's a back-to-back. I don't want to hear it. It's the NBA. You're all gazillionaires. You have every luxury and accoutrement that you could ever possibly want as a perk for playing. I mean, your medical care is the best, the massages, the maintenance, the icing, every single thing, the food. You're not flying commercial like they used to do when I was a kid. You have no excuse to put forth that lousy of an effort for 12 minutes of an NBA game when an arena full of people have paid all that money to go see you. There, I said it. Look, the Orlando fans didn't care. They got to see Cole Anthony have the night of his life. He'll probably never have another one. And a guy like that scores 35 points when he averages 5. That's an embarrassment. Your team defense, your individual defenders should be humiliated when they get on that plane. They really should be. I mean, I'm not giving you a news flash at all here. Let me take a look at the team stats real quick, because they always tell the story for the Miami Heat. Where's the second chance points? Where's the offensive rebound? Okay, hold on. Field goal percentage for Orlando, I think it was like 49-48. I remember seeing at the end of the game. Yeah, 49 to Orlando, 49.4 to 48. Pretty good there. Miami, 9 for 32. Orlando, 11 for 37 for 3. Luckily, they shot like crap for 3 too, or they'd have blown Miami out tonight. But crazy how this game went with Miami having such a huge lead. No one shooting well from 3. The Magic went 24 of 27 from the stripe. Miami, 33 of 42. They got to the line 42 times, and you're losing this game by 7, and you missed 9 free throws. Do the math there, right? Do the math there. Just 78% from the line for Miami. Orlando goes 88%. There's another reason they won the game right there. The rebounding almost even, 41-38 for the Magic. Offensive rebounds, not a big deal tonight. 24-16 Orlando on the assist side of things. Turnovers about even, 15 for Miami, 13 for Orlando. The Heat only had 2 more steals, 7-5. They were blocked 9 times tonight. 9-2 for the Magic with blocks. Batadze controlling the middle of the paint with the 13 rebounds, the 18 points as well. Fast break points, 23-11 for Orlando. Points in the paint, 56-46 for the Magic. I mean, it is what it is, right? Largest lead for Miami, 25 points. They were underdogs, 1.5-point underdogs tonight. You had a feel when the Heat are up 22 points to start the fourth, and they're still up 109-101 with like 2.5 minutes left. It's like, dude, finish the game. Get a stop. Make a shot. They couldn't get anything done down the stretch. They just couldn't. And it was a shame. It was maddening to see. Thank you, guys. The audience, by the way, is blowing up right now. Really appreciate you coming on in and spending part of your Saturday with us. 121-114. Orlando beats the Heat. And really just a bad, we said it, 37-8 in the fourth quarter. Before we get on out of here, let's give you those graphics we told you about. You guys have come to expect these. You know them, you love them. They're part of your show. I said it. It's your show. Day in and day out, you everydayers know this. First things first, Grease, give you the final score. Boom. 121-114, Orlando Magic. And they got a bunch of guys that they literally pulled out of vendors' uniforms and put basketball uniforms on them. With Wagner out, with Banchero out. The other Wagner went out. Glass is out. I mean, they had 4 guys out, 4 significant contributors, and then a 5th guy gets hurt early and doesn't come back. Miami's missing Jimmy. Ask Orlando if they'll take that. Hey, they'd love to have just one of those guys out. And so they have all of them. So 121-114. Look, it's your 4th loss in a row. You're back at 500. Yada, yada, yada. All right, next thing is the moment. There's the moment right there. Outscored 37-8 in the 4th quarter. Look, I'm not trying to pick on Rozier. We have limited pictures from our media partners, and Rozier had 23, but he hasn't played extremely well or extraordinarily well or even reasonably well, I'll say, this year. So there's the moment, 37-8. They're outscored in the 4th quarter. And finally, your star of the show, Cole Anthony. Look at him wearing number 50 like Greg Anthony used to do. Is he Greg Anthony's son? Is Cole Anthony Greg Anthony's son? I just had a moment here. Let me do this. I'm doing this live. Is Cole Anthony, he's wearing number 50, Greg Anthony's son. Yeah, baby. Greg Anthony's son wearing that number 50, but he's not a lefty like his pops was. See that? I'm a sleuth. I'm on the case. So Cole Anthony lights it up, 35 points. He averages 5 a game. I'm sure his dad will go on and on. He should be starting this and that, but it's a good young team, good bigs. And for a guy like him to step up the way he did, look, I've been making fun of him the whole show, and I've been ripping on Miami, but you know what I mean? It was a bad night for the Heat, but give props to Cole Anthony. Give props to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, having bubble flashbacks playing in Orlando when he was winning chips with the Lakers. But I'll tell you this, man. Bad night for Miami, bad 4th quarter. You got to win that game. You're up 25. It's not like you're up 10. 10's nothing in the NBA. You're up 22 to start the 4th. Win the damn game. This is aggravating. They should have won Monday at Detroit. They should have won the other game at Detroit where Spo called the timeout. They've had 4 or 5 losses in those 13 already, maybe more, but I can count 4 or 5 right now and spit them to you where they should have won those games. And shoulda, coulda, woulda. I know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But hey, thank you guys. We're doing a lot of things here at the network to make these shows better. We have auditors watching, people who are really good in this business, giving us feedback, giving us help. It's really exciting. We love it, and we're making a better product day in and day out for you, especially you everydayers. You know this. Now, Locked On Heat, every day, bang. Locked On Dolphins, every day, bang. Locked On Canes, every day, bang, bang, right? Marlins 3 times a week in the offseason, all year long. But after the games, we are here with the postcast. Locked On Sports Miami on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Remember to make the distinction. After the games, postcasts, okay? Pods the rest of the time. We're in a podcast world. This is the postcast. It's a new initiative from the network. It's not even a year old yet. It's been going great. We are just ecstatic with the results we've been getting, and it's because of people like you who watch us day in and day out. And again, the final score one more time for your mind, 121-114. Orlando beats Miami. We're back on Monday. Brooklyn in the house, without a doubt. I'm the rapper with clout. So Brooklyn in the house, 7:30 on Monday. Tomorrow it's the Dolphins. Oh, the Dolphins make me cry, but there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to watch playoff football this year. Anyway, hopefully it'll be playoff basketball a little bit later on. Still see Darius Rucker crying with Dan Marino in the video, but the Dolphins have made everyone cry since the 70s. They went to the Super Bowl in 1984 when I was 12 years old. They've made everybody cry since that time. And since that time, they've fired Don Shula. They've fired Jimmy Johnson. You've seen the end of Dan Marino, and nothing has gone well for your Miami Dolphins. But the Heat have been a different story. Best organization in town. They got to get this figured out. Are they going to trade Jimmy? Are they not? Watch Locked On Heat day by day to figure that out. But in the meantime, I will tell you this. We will be here after that game on Monday. We'll be here at the Dolphins game tomorrow. It's the late game. So you want to make sure, right? You want to make sure that you're here at about, 8 o'clock maybe about 8 o'clock by the time we do the postcast. And then, of course, the Heat Monday. Busy schedule coming up for Miami to wrap up the year. December, got a bunch of games after they had that little break because they didn't do squat in the NBA Cup, which, of course, the Bucks won. And Miami, yeah, that first Cup game was the one where Spo called the timeout and have one. And so it is what it is. Uncharacteristic mistakes. They haven't really found their flow yet as a team. They haven't found those rotations. They haven't found that trust in one another late in games yet. There's a lot of things TBD, to be developed, not determined. Well, determined as well, but to be developed for your Miami Heat. I'm over on time. It's been a blast as always, guys. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Had a little technical troubles, and we were getting those figured out. But man, oh man, when you're growing this fast, you're going to have growing pains, right? Like the Hulk ripping out of his shirt. That's what we're doing here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Heat fans. 7-point loss to Orlando, 121-114. Keep your game tight and your mind right. We are out.